The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing, to shew that the Lord is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. The 92nd Psalm, verses 12 through 15. By their fruits ye shall know them. In today's video, I'm going to share with you something that's coming. A few people have seen it, but many have not. Those on the left that have perpetrated this event over the last 2 years, they have no idea what's coming because they have mistaken intelligence for wisdom. We don't need F-15s or nukes or any type of ballistic weapon. We have the armor of God. And the weapons of our warfare are spiritual. As water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. This is unrecoverable for the left. They have all hitched their wagons to the Dr. Fauci wagon train. These ads are going to right themselves over the next year. And anybody who has attacked anyone who's gone after Fauci, they're going to be associated with the new Michael Vick. How many remember Michael Vick and what happened to Michael Vick from the NFL because of what he did to animals? What this guy did was far worse. And anybody associated with any positive statement around this guy is going to be associated with this story. All of them are going down. People have kept the tweets. People have kept the posts. They know what's been said. And unless they come out and vociferously condemn Dr. Fauci, they are going down. There is no recovering from this. Pelosi's already pretty much telegraphed she's going to retire. Here in Florida, Freed and Christ are done. It's going to be the first question they're asked. Do you stand with or against Dr. Fauci? Do you stand with or against Dr. Fauci? If they say with, real simple. They stand with someone who tortured beagles, who tortured puppies. It's over. There are people inside their campaigns right now that know it's over because they know how this stuff works. And on the other side of this, the governor of Florida literally created gear saying, "Don't Fauci my Florida." Literally came out and stood against this man from day one. From day one. Has never said one positive thing about this man, and he's going to benefit from this in a way they're not seeing. And boy, I have been waiting for this day. I have been waiting for this day. The woman on your left is a woman named Brianna Keeler. And she took over at CNN, their New Day program, when Brooke Baldwin left. Now, Brooke Baldwin got red-pilled, and that's why they let her leave quietly and made no big deal about it. But she's Australian. You see, she's for everything that's going on in Australia. And she had the gall, the nerve, a year or so ago, to scold Governor DeSantis for having the beers at Daytona at Bike Week. And she made a big public statement of it about how we should be following Fauci and how we should be listening to Fauci and all this kind of stuff. She's going to own this too. CNN's going to own this too. People aren't seeing this yet, but it's going to come out. How as ye have done it unto the least of these, my brethren, also have ye done it unto me, paraphrasing another scripture in the Bible. When it comes to people's pets, and it comes to people's children, that's a line you never, never cross. When it comes to the helpless and the weak, it doesn't matter what your politics are. Without a full-throated, complete, and vociferous condemnation of this man, they're done. And it doesn't matter what the subject is. They're not going to be able to say, well, I was against this thing with Fauci, but this other part of Fauci, no. You see, you couldn't have said that about Michael Vick either. What he did was horrific and horrible. What this guy did with tax money was beyond the pale. See, Florida, and I don't count myself in this, is full of very wise people that are far older and far more experienced than I am. The rest of the country has laughed at Florida man and Florida in general for a couple of different reasons. One, of course, sometimes the behavior in a place where there's liberty can get a little out of hand, but they've also called us God's waiting room because of all the old folks. Well, with age comes wisdom. And that's what I truly believe is the reason Florida is leading. Governor DeSantis is an effect, not a cause. He's an effect, not a cause. The cause in Florida is our aging and aged population. We have the benefit and the blessing of older folks coming here from literally all over the world and bringing their knowledge and their wisdom and their experience into our local politics, planting good seeds everywhere. Now, we have areas that, of course, are more liberal, but the vast majority of the legislators, in Florida are all conservatives. I mean, it's not even close. In our state house, we have almost a 2-to-1 advantage, conservatives to liberals. In our Senate, it's the equivalent of nearly a supermajority. We have 40 members in the Florida Senate. It's 24-16. That's literally 60-40. And of course, we have a conservative governor and our Supreme Court. Every single member of our Supreme Court in the state of Florida, every one of them, is a member of the Federalist Society, meaning they're farther to the right than Governor DeSantis is. This is why you hear people like Nikki Fried and Christ and a lot of Democrats say that, oh, Tallahassee's broken. It's like, no, it's just a reflection of the people. It's a reflection of the people of the state of Florida and the age and the wisdom. This is just a reality people are going to have to accept. It's somewhat of a logical fallacy, but there's no getting around it. Guilt by association assumes that an argument is true because the person involved is associated with someone or something negative. Well, the Bible teaches a man is known by the company he keeps, does it not? That we're to not be associated with people like this. There's even a scripture in the Bible, I'm trying to remember the passage, where Jesus is saying you don't even have dinner with them. You come out from the world, but if any among you, the brethren, begin to act like fornicators, you don't eat with them. And there was the Billy Graham Modesto Manifesto, which was also taught. You just don't be around people like that because, they're like a booby trap ready to go off anytime. They're like hand grenades. And that's literally what this was. This issue with the sandflies and the beagles, they're going to own it. The left is going to own this. And they're going to own it for a long time. What's happening in Virginia is not an aberration. They're terrified. They know what's coming. And there are 3 things they're going to try to do. And I just want to give you guys a heads up at the end of this video so you can defeat it. There is an unlawful call for moderation on the play. They use Ed Hockley to, in this particular series, to show logic fallacies. Assuming the correct answer was always the middle ground. See, that's never the case. People say, well, either you're way over here on the left or you're way over here on the right, that always an answer is in the middle is not always the case. There are other alternative options other than being in the middle of 2 wrong answers, which is also mirrored here. False dichotomy, meaning you only have 2 choices. The existence of alternative viewpoints, I get clobbered for this all the time. People think because I'm not a giant fan of Trump that I must be a giant fan of Biden. I'm a giant fan of neither. I'm a huge proponent of states' rights. I don't think D.C. is the answer for anything, or any one man is going to save, quote unquote, America. If you want to save America, we need to start taking care of our states individually, and that will give us the strength. Just like in the body, the human body. You have lungs, you have a liver, you have a stomach, you have a brain, you have a heart. Each has its own specific needs. And just because it's not another organ doesn't make it not part of the body. Different things have to be done to take care of different parts of our body. Just like in our country, we have to have different states doing different things, different ways to maintain strength, to maintain the republic. And here's the last one. Relative privation on the defense. Just because somebody did something worse doesn't make what you're doing right. You see, this is something that Trump's going to try. You see, Biden's terrible. Fauci's even worse. But that doesn't excuse some of the poor things and poor choices made by the last president. So it's once again the false dichotomy. It's either this or that. Either you're here or you're there. It's not the case. That's what made and will make our republic strong. If we have 50 individual republics of their own, doing their own thing. I would love for every state to be its own republic, and there no longer be a need for Washington, D.C. That would be a dream come true. I personally think the concept of Washington, D.C. is archaic. We no longer need to. We deal with South America, right? South America has Brazil and Chile and Argentina and Peru and Colombia and Venezuela and Bolivia, and we deal with them each individually, right? Why couldn't we do that here? Every one of our states has its own ability to stand up and deal with any other country. Washington, D.C. was put in place at a time when we didn't have the ability to do that. We do now. Every state in this union should act as its own republic and govern itself independently. That's my point. And we will get away from this. We will get away from having to tolerate such unbelievable, horrific behavior. And get rid of all the bureaucracies and let the chips fall where they may, but make no mistake. The left has no idea what's coming. They are going to lose literally every single race because of this. And they're not going to be able to cheat their way out of this one. And I'll leave it there. God bless. Have a great weekend. Go Florida Gators. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.